Hi there, students. When people are sad and emotional, very often they shed tears. Well, this video is going to give you a selection of verbs about crying. So we have to weep, to bawl, to sob, to snivel, to whimper, and to blubber. Okay, the first word, to weep. To weep is to cry. To weep is quite a general word. Yeah? He wept tears of joy. He wept with sadness. There were weeping mourners at the funeral. Yeah? And to weep is a general word for to cry, when the tears come down. As well, notice to weep is an irregular verb, like keep. Weep, wept, wept. Okay? So, no more weeping, stop crying. Let's try the next one. To bawl. B-A-W-L, although it sounds like a ball. Okay, to bawl is to cry very loudly. When I hear the verb to bawl, I think of a baby that is screaming with anger, that has lost control. Yeah? Or crying very strongly. Yeah? So, to bawl. To bawl also could be used meaning to shout. But he was bawling, he was crying, yeah? But not only are tears coming down, but clearly he's very, very upset. Okay, and to bawl is a regular verb. The next one is to sob. Okay, to sob is to cry, but taking deep breaths in between. So, okay, this is to sob. Now, I noticed that most of the major dictionaries say that to sob is to cry loudly. And I don't think to sob is loud. I think to sob is reasonably quiet, yeah? He was sobbing okay, in the corner, yeah? So the child began to bawl, scream and shout and cry loudly. But as the child got tired, he began to sob miserably in the corner. Okay, so to sob, a regular verb again with double B, sobbed. The next word is to snivel. This is to cry and sniff at the same time. So, okay, so to snivel, you're using the nose, not the mouth. Very often as well, people talk while they're snivelling. I don't want to do this again. Okay, to snivel. Yeah, so to snivel. They often use as well to snivel, to complain unreasonably about some small detail. Okay, so he was snivelling. To whimper. Well, to whimper really isn't to cry. You whimper in vain. To whimper, it's a weak sound that indicates pain. Okay, the dog whimpered when the man got angry with it. Okay, maybe he He's sobbing and snivelling and whimpering. So, yeah, to whimper, another regular verb. And the final verb in this is to blubber. Okay, to blubber is an informal word, meaning to cry loudly. Yeah? But notice this is much more informal than the other words we have seen. Okay, so he was blubbering in the corner. Yeah? He was blubbering because he had broken his toy. Notice as well, to blubber, a regular verb. So, let's go through these again. To weep. I think to weep with emotion, to weep because you're sad. Yeah? To shed tears. Mostly a general word, yeah? To weep, he's crying, he's weeping. To bawl, to scream and shout while crying. The baby was bawling in pain. Okay, so to bawl, to cry very loudly and very angrily. To sob, to cry, but taking deep breaths in between the crying. Okay. And although many dictionaries say it's loud, I think to sob is much quieter. To snivel. This is to cry and sniff at the same time. He was snivelling about, to snivel, to complain unreasonably about something of little importance. To whimper. A feeble, pathetic sound that indicates pain. He was whimpering in pain. And then to blubber is an informal slang word talking about to cry noisily. Okay, let's look at the formality of these. I think probably the most formal of all these words is to weep. I would give weep maybe a 6, even 6.5 on a scale of formality. But you can use weep in an informal conversation and you can use it in a formal document. I think cry is more informal than weep. To bawl, I think this is neutral formality. I think it's very good for an informal conversation. I think it's maybe a little bit informal for a very formal document. Crying loudly, crying uncontrollably, weeping uncontrollably would be better for something more formal. To sob, I think this is neutral, maybe ever so slightly formal. Yeah, and this is suitable both for an informal conversation and for a formal presentation or a formal written document. I think to snivel is probably neutral formality, maybe even slightly informal. Yeah, so good for a casual conversation, but I wouldn't use snivel in a very formal written report or something like that. Snivel, crying and complaining, weeping and complaining. To whimper. I think to whimper is neutral formality and is useful both for informal context and for very formal ones, so a versatile word. And to blubber is definitely informal, and I would only use this in an informal conversation. Do not use blubber when you're writing something formal. Okay? So, what else? Yes, remember, weep is irregular. Weep, wept, wept. But the others are regular. Bawl, bawled, bawled. Sob, sobbed, sobbed. Snivel, snivelled, snivelled. Whimper, whimpered, whimpered. Blubber, blubbered, blubbered. So, I hope you've got nothing to weep over. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Weep, bawl, sob, snivel, whimper, blubber.